What up, fight fans? It's your boy Noah here again, coming to you live with a special edition of the Countout. Well, man, as you know, I come to you live every week on the Countout, giving you a top 10 recap of the best moments of the wrestling week. However, I'm coming to you live with a special edition in honor of WrestleMania season and the performer debatably synonymous with WrestleMania going into the Hall of Fame. That's right, I'm talking about the Undertaker. We're going to count down the top 10 WrestleMania matches featuring the Phenom, the Undertaker. And we just going to go ahead and get right into it, man. At number 10, The Undertaker versus Ric Flair at WrestleMania 18. Now, honestly, I think this is one of his more underrated WrestleMania matches. I don't think it's talked about enough, especially on a lackluster card. This was a very, very good match. This was a very physical match that started out with a great story in the first place, and it carried over on into WrestleMania 18. And it ended up being, like I said, a physical match. It was a damn bloodbath. It was pretty nasty. I mean, Taker was whooping Ric Flair's ass. Now you're probably wondering why the hell this match is even on the count out in the first place. Well, they always say that you're as good as your dance partner in the ring. And damn it, Ric Flair was good. I mean, there's a reason why a lot of people call him the GOAT. I mean, I think he's fighting the GOAT, but you know, Flair did his shit, bro. That match was great, and add in the interference by AA Arn Anderson, because Taker had, abused and assaulted Arn Anderson to get this match in the first place, and he came out and AA Taker ended up taking a pipe to the head and got busted open, but after a physical bout, Taker ended that WrestleMania match like he usually does, with a tombstone to Ric Flair, and he went on to 10-0. 10-0. It's a great match. I love it. It's like, honestly, I would go on the record to say that it was the second best match of the night. Of course, second to Rock and Hogan. This was a very good match. Very good. But moving on to number 9. Undertaker versus Triple H at WrestleMania 17. Now, this is the real first bout. A lot of people don't really it almost feels like the WWE kind of sweeps this one under the rug, right? They always try to talk about WrestleMania 27 as being the first Taker Triple H match. Of course, it was in light of the storyline that was going on. Of course, we'll talk about that a little later, maybe. But this was the real first official matchup, and this featured not the Lord of Darkness, but this featured the American Badass. Honestly, my favorite version of The Undertaker versus Triple H. Now, this was also a hellacious bout. I enjoyed it a lot. You see Undertaker pulling out Triple H's own weapon against him. But it was a very, very nasty brawl. And it's all because Triple H wanted to touch Taker's bike. It really is. But, interesting story. I didn't know this, but Jim Ross, said that this match came about because when they were booking WrestleMania 17's card, they forgot to book these two. And they was just like, fuck it. If we forget to book these two, the two of the biggest stars in the industry right now, might as well just put them in together. We've never seen them before. So they ended up creating magic, and it was almost like they gained instant chemistry. And Taker and Triple H put on a hellacious battle, both bloody. At one point, one of the more iconic scenes of that match, well, there were a lot of choke slams going on, but one of the most iconic scenes in that match was another choke slam off of the scaffolding. And that shit's about a 10 to 15 foot drop. Of course, he landed on some padding if we're breaking kayfabe and being real. But that shit looked pretty sick real time. It was a great moment. I don't know how the hell Triple H got up if we're not breaking kayfabe. Cause that was a big fall, bro. That was a big ass fall. It was a sweet ass bump, sweet ass spot. But they took this fight outside the ring into the scaffolding. A lot of sledgehammers, a lot of chairs being used. They end up back in the ring, and Triple H makes the mistake, of course, of doing the 10 punches on the top rope. You know how they count out the punches when they on the top rope, and he didn't understand that if there's anybody you don't do that move on, it's the Undertaker, because he's just gonna hit your ass with a last ride. And that's what the fuck happened. He hit him with a last ride, and the rest is history. Taker went on to 9-0 that year. Very good match, very slept on arguably the greatest WrestleMania of all time. But it was a beautiful match. Beautiful, beautiful match. But next we go on to number 8. In my opinion, in my unbiased opinion, I think that this is Taker's most underrated WrestleMania match. And that's the WrestleMania 21 against Randy Orton. Now, at the time, Randy was, performing under the Legend Killer persona, the persona that got him over the top in the first place. And he strode up against the Undertaker for WrestleMania 21. And he had been a thorn in Taker's side for the better part of 6-7 months. But this match is really a highlight in their feud. Like I said, it's probably because it was only 15 minutes. Should have gone like another 5 or 6 minutes more. But what they did with that 15 minutes was magic. Bob Orton's bum hand ass played a pretty good part in it. But Randy really solidified himself as a star in this match. Again, like I said at the beginning of this, you're only as good as the guy you're going up against. And Randy was fucking good that night. He was that sounded weird. But that sounded really inappropriate. But he was great that night. He was great. Like, this is one of the sweetest counters I've ever seen. Like, real time, it was so sweet. Like, who would have ever thought? Like, he has a lot of great counters with the RKO. Like, I had one, when he Chad Gable backflip and he caught him in RKO. That was pretty sweet. But this one is definitely up there. It's not over it, but it's definitely up there. And the crowd popped for it. The RKO was one of those out of nowhere finishers, and he could hit it at any moment. Not a lot of people kicked out of it. And when he hit this shit, a lot of people were really thinking, oh shit, is Taker actually about to lose at Mania? And of course, Taker kicked out. But yeah, this was a very sweet ass spot. But Randy, being the boastful guy he is, and he's too cocky, so he tried to showboat and steal moves and shit. And he loaded Taker up for what looked like a tombstone. And he claims that his weight or his back gave out, and Taker reversed it into his own tombstone, and he finished his ass off. And Taker went on to 13-0 at WrestleMania. This was a great match. Great match. I think it did a lot of wonders, not only for, an already solidified Taker, but it did wonders for Randy. I mean, that feud was amazing, and this match is definitely a staple in their feud. Like I said, it's honestly, in my opinion, it is the most underrated Taker Mania match ever. It was like they were magic. But moving on to number 7, Undertaker and CM Punk at WrestleMania 29. Now, this was an interesting storyline because Punk was playing a lot of mind games and like borderline crossing the line. He was a habitual line stepper, in the words of the great Charlie Murphy. The motherfucker was a habitual line stepper. I mean, the guy, like, he was almost showering himself in Paul Bearer's ashes. You know, he was playing around with or not showering himself. He dumped the ashes onto Taker. He was playing around with the urn. He dropped it. Of course, it infuriated Taker. And, they went on to WrestleMania, and Taker was out for his head. Now, it's crazy enough because you would have thought CM Punk. Well, no. CM Punk was a bad guy at the time, and he was a little bit of a dickhead. You know what I mean? But he didn't have any direction. He won a fatal 4-way against 3 other guys to get this spot, and he felt the need to take it to the nth degree. You know what I mean? CM Punk, he's a dickhead. But Taker was looking out for his head because he was being disrespected, and he ain't fuck with it. He ain't fuck with it at all. Despite Taker getting in his licks, the match was like, it was uncharacteristically controlled by Punk. I mean, but he is CM Punk. He was a pretty great. He still is pretty great now, but he was pretty great then too. And he was taking it to Taker. And there came a point in time where I really felt like CM Punk could possibly end the streak. Like, there are a lot of times during the matches, during Taker's Mania matches, where I'm like, oh shit, that was a near fall, or that was close. But I don't think I ever really believed that he was gonna get beaten, except for in a few cases. This was one of them. This was definitely one of them. But out of the ashes and out of an anaconda vice came one of the best images that came from this match, and possibly from this WrestleMania, is Taker staring a black hole down CM Punk. And CM Punk looked terrified. I mean, look at that face. I would be fucking scared. I'd probably shit myself right in that moment. And we would have had to stop the match. Like, immediately. CM Punk was pushing all borders and crossing all lines. Even more so when he reversed the last ride by hitting Taker with the urn. And then hitting Taker with his signature end of the match pose. When he crosses your hands over your chest and he kind of presses down on your chest so that you can't breathe, and he sticks his tongue out, because he's Taker. Well, CM Punk did that shit. Of course, it didn't work because Taker kicked out. He was tired of the habitual line stepping, and Taker came back and ended up hitting CM Punk with a tombstone and showed him how it's really done. Taker would go on to 21-0, and this would be universally known as the last win in the legendary WrestleMania streak of The Undertaker. But that was a great run for him, and honestly, who better to cap off that legendary streak but against the hottest star in wrestling at the time, and that was Punk. But moving on to number 6, And we have Edge versus Taker at WrestleMania 24. Now, this match is also another one of the underrated ones. I don't think a lot of people talk about this one. And it's crazy enough that the script of this one, the way this match was laid out, is very similar to another match that we'll talk about a little bit later. But Edge is just not the other guy. I'm not going to spoil it. Everybody knows who it is, but I'm not going to spoil it anyways. You know, we it's baby steps, damn it. Patience, okay? But Edge is still Edge. I'm not taking anything away from Edge. I love Edge. He's a great performer. He understands the psychology of matches, how to keep the crowds invested, all that and much more. And Edge really took it to fucking Taker, yo. Like, I remember my mom bought this pay-per-view for me and I watched this shit live. And yeah, bro, as a huge fan of Taker, Edge made me nervous. He is another one of those guys who I actually thought, like, oh shit, he didn't do it as much as like as Punk did or some other guys, but he definitely was pushing, you know, my mental, because I thought he was gonna pull it out, because he was reversing every fucking thing, you know, between last rides and choke slams and fucking him kicking out of a tombstone. You know, I'm saying I hadn't seen anybody kick out of a tombstone in my life, actually. You know, Kane did it in their first match, but I wasn't watching wrestling then. This is the first time out of me watching Taker, somebody kick out of the tombstone. And it was this motherfucker right here, Edge. And I was nervous. I was sweating bullets. Little 10-year-old, 11-year-old me was nervous. I was shitting my pants. I'm not even gonna lie to you. But nevertheless, you know, and Edge was countering everything. He was fucking countering everything. And I was like, Taker, if you don't get your ass together, this brother is out wrestling you right now. Like, you can't really say that in a lot of matches. Well, you can say it in about half of his matches that the other guy would out wrestle Taker. Taker just found a way. That was his niche. That was just like one of his intangible traits. He just found a way to win at Mania at all costs. But after reversing and countering and kicking out of every finisher that Taker had to throw at him, Taker hit him with the one finisher that he don't use a lot, the damn Hell's Gate. Taker wasn't known as a submission fighter until about, you know, maybe a year prior to this event. But that shit had a ban on it at the time. And he still used it because Edge was getting to him. And so I don't know if he forgot, but I'm glad he used it because he ain't lose. Ain't nobody overrule it until later on. So, you know what I'm saying? When he tapped out, I was happy as fuck. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Because, you know, like I said, Taker finds a way to win. It don't even matter. He was so in tune with the match that he forgot that the move was banned. So he just used it anyways because he needs to find a way to win. At the end of this maneuver, Edge tapped and Taker ended up hoisting the World Heavyweight Championship, the big gold belt, at the end of WrestleMania 24. What I love most about this match is not the match itself. It's not the Taker one. It's not that he was champion at the end of this. It was the meme that was created by referee Charles Robinson. The original referee got knocked out, if you didn't watch the match. He got knocked out. And Taker hit Edge with a tombstone, actually. It was the tombstone that you saw earlier. And Charles Robinson comes sprinting out And I mean, this was back when WrestleMania had these obnoxiously long entrance ways, like at least a football field long. Maybe not a football field, but close to it. And he sprinted that whole shit. I mean, if you go back and look, hold on, wait a minute. If you go back and you look at the entire match, and you get to this moment, I want you to soak it in, because this is the funniest shit you will ever see. I know if you're on social media, you have seen this meme before. It's unfortunate because I cannot provide the video on this stream right now, because if I could, I would. It's the run that I hit when Mom said them damn pizza rolls was ready. It's the run that I hit. You know what? I'm gonna keep that one to myself. But it created one of the funniest memes I've ever seen. That is some funny shit. I'm just praying to God that Vince gave him the week off, because Charles Robinson turned into Usain Bolt just for that one night. And I'm going to leave it at that. But next up, we got number 5, the Boneyard match at WrestleMania 36, or what I like to call Pandemic Mania, because everything was pre-recorded and it was at the Performance Center. Nobody watching. But maybe this was just a blessing in disguise for Taker, because the year prior, he had a god-awful match against Roman. I mean, it was a piss-poor excuse for a retirement match. And it's so bad because, like, he sent other people out so well, but he couldn't even send himself out well. I mean, you call it what you want, selfless, being a team player, but I think when you're the Undertaker and you are arguably the greatest of all time, I think you need to go out looking like the fucking Undertaker. And he did not do that against Roman Reigns. So he felt the need to come back and do it up against, I don't know, the best fucking wrestler in the world at the time. The pandemic hit, and we were robbed of being able to see it live in front of a crowd. However, an alternative was created, which was probably for the best. The Boneyard match was a cinematic, pre-recorded match during the WrestleMania of the pandemic, because nobody could go to the stadium for the show. And we saw the return of the American Badass. Bro, that shit was gold. Fucking money. It was fucking money. Like, honestly, the only reason why that match was not undisputably the best match of the night was because there was another cinematic match that they had to compete with. And that was Bray Wyatt's crackhead creative ass. But this shit was torch. Not only did it bring back the American Badass, but it really played to Taker's strengths. And it allowed them to pre-record this shit and really make him look like a fucking stud. And it did. It worked. That shit worked. AJ brought the best out of him, and that shit just worked on all levels. Taker was taking it to Styles. Styles was taking it to Taker. That shit was in a dark environment. Styles came out in a coffin, by the way. I thought that shit was pretty sick. But I really popped when I heard that Metallica and I heard that bike. And I was like, you got to be fucking kidding me. He about to go out on his high horse, on his bike, not walking out with the damn trench coat and hat on. Because quite frankly, I had seen enough of that. I was ready for the American Badass to come back. And the way they were just building this match, and the way that AJ Styles was kind of breaking out of kayfabe and calling him by his government, Mark Calloway, and saying shit about Michelle McCool. You know what I mean? I just knew something about all of that, just like using foresight. I was just like, there's no way he comes out with this dead man gimmick. This motherfucker is coming out as the American Badass. And when he came out there, I popped. I'm not gonna lie. I was in my crib and my parents was looking at me like I was, crazy. Like, I don't give a fuck. Undertaker came out as American Badass. Only way that would have been better, shit. Honestly, this match would have probably been higher on the card if Limp Bizkit was playing. Fuck that Metallica shit. Play Rollin'. That's like top 5 greatest theme songs ever. I don't give a shit. But like I said, Styles was taking it to Taker because Taker's old as shit, and Styles is the greatest wrestler in the world right now. But after Styles pushed Taker down a 6-foot hole where a casket was supposed to go, Taker rose up from the ashes like the dead man he is. Even though he's a biker now, he's still the dead man, and he has supernatural powers. He rose behind AJ Styles, who thought he had finished Taker. But instead, Taker ended up whooping his ass. Like Taker was the Taker of like 2004 when he first came back. Well, when he came back from the American Badass back into the dead man. And he put his ass in the coffin. And we were left with this image right here. As Undertaker went out on his high horse, not only did he redeem himself from that god-awful, atrocious match against Roman Reigns the year prior to, he goes off on a win. I love it for him. He deserves, a lot of wrestlers like to put other people over on their way out the door. Taker is the guy who actually he should be the one going over on his way out the door. Fuck that. He's definitely one of the most selfless performers you'll ever know. I mean, the guy should be like a 12, 13, 14 time world champ. He's not, because he's selfless. You put him in any role, he will do it, and he will reinvent himself where it's needed. So I'm just glad he got that win on his way out the door. But at number 4, we go with Undertaker, Triple H at WrestleMania 27. The second bout. But it's the first bout of the long 4-year storyline. This was a damn good match. Fucking amazing. Honestly, this was another lackluster card. I don't know. It seems like Undertaker performs his best when he's on cards that suck. And this card sucked. That shit was trash. I mean, The Miz and Cena was fine. I loved the Cody Rhodes and Rey Mysterio match. But this one right here, this one stood out over the rest. I mean, this was another one of those physical bouts, bro. I mean, Triple H really took it to fucking Taker. And this was a time where I really thought that Taker was going to lose. I don't know what it was. It just felt, Triple H just felt different. And it's so crazy because his predecessor, it felt like his predecessor was going to come close too, except for in one of the matches. But I don't want to skip too far ahead. Let's just talk about Triple H Taker 2, which was damn fucking good. You know what I'm saying? I mean, look at this. Look at this. Hold on. If I were to tell you that this image was taken after Triple H dropped Taker with a tombstone, and you hadn't been watching wrestling during this time, I don't think you would have believed me. I don't think you would have believed. I don't think anybody who didn't watch wrestling at this time would have believed that Triple H hit Taker with a tombstone, and this is how that image was created. But he fucked it. And right then and there, I was just like, yo, what the fuck? I knew he wasn't gonna win off the tombstone, because that's like very disrespectful. I know Taker ain't going outside like that to his own move. I mean, he didn't even let his brother beat him with his own move. So why the fuck would he let Triple H beat him with his own move? That shit was crazy. It's borderline disrespectful. And you know who made this even better? It wasn't Triple H. It wasn't Taker. It was fucking Jim Ross. Jim Ross with the iconic "This is too much" comment. With that phrase, that shit, I really was like, oh my God. This is real as shit. This is fucking real. But yeah, it was physical, bro. I mean, at the time, I think WWE had started banning chair shots to the head due to all the, lawsuits or controversy surrounding concussions and CTE and all that shit. But Triple H still decked Taker with a chair shot, and apparently Vince was mad about it at the end of the match. But I mean, I think the spot was great. I mean, it really highlighted how physical this match truly was. I mean, look at this shit. Triple H was manhandling Taker this whole match. I mean, Taker got his own shots in, but Triple H was pretty much dictating the flow of that match. Like, I'd say about 80% of it. It was so bad. It was so fucking bad that, Taker had to be taken off on a stretcher. And you had never seen that after Mania. Like, it was so, like, the ass whooping was so terrible. He couldn't even walk. But that shit was motivation. Taker was just like, how the fuck dare you put me on a stretcher to close out my match at my event, motherfucker? So I'm going to come back and I'm going to whoop your ass. And that's how we got number 3. Oh, wait. My bad. We forgot to get to the conclusion. Sorry about that. That's my fault. That is my fault. I'm sorry, Taker. That is very disrespectful and it tarnishes your legacy. I will never do that shit again. But just like fucking Edge, Taker could not put away Triple H with any of his well-known signature moves. And he put Triple H in Hell's Gate, and Triple H passed the fuck out. Passed the fuck out. Like, he was sleeping so good. That's the type of sleep I want. Minus the Hell's Gate. Minus the Hell's Gate. But, again, let's reel it back. Ain't no way you sending me on a stretcher at the end of this match at my event and get away with it. I'm going to come back and beat your ass. And that's how we got number 3 at WrestleMania 28. The rematch. The end of the trilogy. And the match built in as the end of an era. Triple H versus Undertaker at Hell in a Cell. And that shit was great. Now, the match itself was very, very, very good. But I think what really amplified the quality of this match was the storyline behind it. Not only was it the end of an era, but it was the end of a 4-year storyline of that really started the chase to end the streak. I mean, a lot of people were like kind of subliminally trying to end the streak, but they were really trying to fuck the Undertaker up more so than end the streak. You know, if they won at Mania, good, you know, that's great that they ended the streak, but it was more so about establishing a name for themselves, you know. But this was really about the fucking streak, at least for Triple H. Taker, it was about his pride. I mean, he remembered what happened the previous year. And the fact that he didn't even get to walk out of his event on his own too. So he came back and he was like, you gonna fight my ass, bro. You gonna fight me. And he was so obsessed with getting this rematch, Triple H had declined it. And Taker was just like, you're driving me fucking crazy. I will literally shave all my hair off until you fucking accept this match. I promise to God, I was watching this live. And hold on. I was watching this live, and when he took that hood off, it was almost like opening a nude. You're so shocked at getting it. But when you open it, it's just like, whoa, this shit is tough. I ain't gonna lie. I was shocked at first, but I was like, Taker bald is pretty sweet. He actually looks scarier bald. Actually, no, he wasn't even bald. He had a mohawk. He looks scarier with a mohawk than he does with hair. I was like, dog, this shit is crazy. Like, but you know, you understand, like, the little minute details really go a long way with telling this story, and it really helped tell the story this night. And yeah, what followed was an excellent match that was not only well worked by Undertaker and Triple H, but the added presence of Shawn Michaels was what really took it over the top, because Shawn was part of the DX, the Clique. He was the first guy to really be at the forefront of trying to end the streak. I mean, he started it, and he couldn't get the job done. And so Triple H came back to try to get the job done the previous year. Like I said, he ended up beating Taker to a fucking pulp. He couldn't even walk out on his own 2 feet. Taker comes back and beats the everlasting shit out of Triple H. But it was the storytelling over 4 years that really helped this match be the way it was. Like I said, it was a great match inside the ropes, but it really was the storytelling that took this shit over the top. It really was. And it created this iconic image of the three of them standing at the top of the stage, and they ended up hugging each other at the end. Great match. Physical fucking match. I mean, it's a Hell in a Cell. Hell in a Cell is always great. I mean, but they just seem to be using their environment and everything they could fucking find, whether it was chairs, sledgehammers, like their previous 2 matches, shit, you name it, they were using that shit, and they were beating the fuck out of each other. And you know what? I don't have any pictures, but the highlight of the moment, the highlight of the match was when fucking Shawn Michaels decked Undertaker with a sweet chin music, and Triple H pedigreed him right after that, and Taker still fucking kicked out. It's honestly one of the greatest near falls ever. And, you know, Triple H went out on a defiant act, the only way Triple H knows how, with a fucking cross chop, and that infuriated Taker, and he fucking tombstoned him into oblivion. Taker would go on to 20-0. And like I said, it was the end of an era. But we're going to move on to number 2. It is the career versus the streak at WrestleMania 26. HBK versus The Undertaker. Now, this is part 2 of that 4-year storyline that I was talking about. And HBK had already lost the year prior to. And he was just like, run that shit back, cuz. Because I almost had you. I almost had you. But I made one mistake. Had I not made that one mistake, you'd probably be looking at the man that ended The Undertaker's legendary streak. But I lost, and I want that. I want to run that back. And you saw this development in HBK that you'd never seen before. I mean, the dude was like unhealthily obsessed with ending this streak. So much so to the point where like he was going crazy. At the Royal Rumble that year, he was just going on a frenzy. He was eliminating all the ones closest to him. I mean, he super kicked Triple H out of the damn Rumble match. And then when he finally got eliminated, you just saw this like really like lost and crazed Shawn Michaels. And he was just like, no, give me one more chance. Like, motherfucker, you are eliminated. You went over the top rope, 2 feet touched the ground. Take your ass back to the locker room. And he was like, no, I need one more chance. He super kicked. I swear to God, he probably super kicked like 3 refs before he left. And bro was going crazy. So what he ended up doing at the Elimination Chamber not too long after the Rumble, he interfered in Taker's World Heavyweight Championship Elimination Chamber, costing him the World Heavyweight title. And Taker was just like, you want this smoke? You want the match again? I'm going to give it to you, but on one condition. If you lose, if you win, you end the streak. If you lose, that's your career, bro. Because I'm tired of you being a thorn in my side, because if you lose again, you're just gonna be right back. You're just gonna be right back to square one. You gonna claim that you made one mistake and that you could have beat the streak. So I'm gonna end that shit right now. I'm gonna beat your ass one more time, and you're gonna be gone for good. And Shawn hit him with one of the more iconic quotes, honestly, of the modern era. It was like, if I can't beat you, I don't have a career. And that's a little harsh. That's a little harsh, but I get it. But what followed was a spectacular match. Honestly, it's like, it's one of my top 5 WrestleMania matches of all time. I would have to say it's probably number 4, underneath a couple matches that I won't get into because this is a Taker-inspired episode. But they were throwing everything. I mean, this ended up getting countered. This particular move ended up getting countered. But I mean, they really were trying to end each other in whichever way they could. Taker really wanted to get that man the fuck out of there. And Shawn Michaels really wanted to end that streak. And they, like I said, they were throwing everything. I mean, Shawn Michaels was throwing out fucking figure 4s, sharpshooters. I'm pretty sure he would throw a trash can at him if he could. I mean, one of the better spots in that match, which we'll get to later, is when he fucking somersaults off of the top rope onto the table. This was a scary fucking spot because I really thought Taker broke his leg right then and there. I mean, they kind of landed awkwardly. But everything was all cool. The match ended up going on, and there was a lot of near falls. The script and the flow of the match was very similar to the year prior to. And Shawn just refused to go, just take that shit. He fucking kicked out of damn near everything. And you could see the frustration building in the Undertaker. However, Undertaker was able to get the best of him. And even after a kick out, you could see that Shawn Michaels was having his last little hoorah. He was going out with guns a-blazing. And just like Triple H, he gave his own version of his last defiant act, mocking The Undertaker. The Undertaker was pissed, and he hit Shawn Michaels with the only jumping tombstone I've ever seen. Like, he literally jumped maybe a foot off of the ground and dropped Shawn Michaels on his head. Nobody was kicking out of that shit. I don't care. I don't want to say anything blasphemous, but nobody would have been kicking out of that. I'm sorry. That shit looked like it hurt. But at the end of the match, the result ended up going like it usually went at the time, and Taker won. Taker won, and he went 18-0. And that was the last cry from arguably the greatest WrestleMania performer in all time, the showstopper, Mr. WrestleMania himself, Shawn Michaels. Honestly, it was very fitting into his career. I don't think you want to go out any other way, but with the guy who gave you the greatest match in your career, spectacular. Just a masterpiece, masterclass of wrestling, storytelling, all of it. Incredible. But we are here at number 1. And let me just talk to you guys for a second, because I'm all about respecting people's opinions, right? Because a lot of subjects are subjective. Everybody has a right to their opinion. But I also have the right to tell you that you're wrong. And if you are ranking Taker matches and this match is not at the top of your list, you are smoking crack. You're smoking crack. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You are on some shit. Because number 1 is arguably this is Taker's greatest match. But not only is it Taker's greatest match, it's the greatest WrestleMania match. And it's arguably the greatest wrestling match ever. Ever. Like, across all promotions, across all events, across any night that you can name me. This is the greatest fucking match to me of all time. Not just WrestleMania. And that is the year before number 2, WrestleMania 25. The Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels won. Incredible match. Incredible match. It was, this match really, it exceeded expectations by a mile. We just learned during Taker's Hall of Fame speech that they were originally given 15 minutes, and they were going to be the 3rd match on the card. Just imagine, just imagine the scope of that night had that card going on the way they originally planned it. This match may have been talked about, right? Because Undertaker and Shawn Michaels are 2 generational talents. They were performing at a high level, even at a higher age, for a wrestler. Shawn was in his mid-40s. Taker was in his around the same age, mid-40s. And they put on. I'm still speechless to this day. They put on a masterclass. This shit is a masterpiece. That match is the only match where I can say that shit was perfection. From the start bell to the end bell, that shit was perfection. It really was perfection. And I said earlier, the Taker and Edge match kind of follows the same script as a match. It's this one. Because Taker threw fucking everything that he could at Shawn, and Shawn would not quit. But it's just something about Shawn Michaels in WrestleMania. He's just different, bro. He's fucking different. Like I said, Taker was throwing choke slams, last rides, and tombstones, and Shawn was throwing every sweet shit music that he could, and they just refused to lose. Taker really wanted to keep his streak intact, and Shawn wanted to end that shit. And like I said, they were going all out. The highest spot to me, though, in this match is this one. When Taker did his, patented, over the top rope dive. And Shawn pushed the cameraman in the way to protect him. This shit is iconic because I almost thought The Undertaker died. I mean, if you look at the spot in real time, like if you actually watch the match, it's a pretty nasty looking spill. I mean, he's probably an inch away. Well, no, honestly, if he didn't shield himself the way he did, we would probably be looking at Undertaker in a wheelchair, and his career would have ended way sooner than it did. That shit looked really bad. That shit looked, I can't even lie, it looked terrible. But what preceded it was just another one of those minute details that made this match perfection. Because you could see that Shawn was really like, at that point, he was just trying to pull out all the stops. He was just going to take a win any way he could, even if it was a countout. If it was a countout, that was a loss on Taker's WrestleMania record. And Shawn had the wherewithal, like I said, to move the cameraman. Taker took a nasty spill, and he went into the ring pretty much begging, pleading, and praying that the ref would count faster so that Taker wouldn't get into the ring. Unfortunately, Taker did get back into the ring. And at the end of the match, Shawn Michaels would climb up to the top rope, deliver a moonsault, but however, he was caught, and Taker would drop his ass with a tombstone that would end the match and etch Taker's 17th win in his WrestleMania record. And that shit, my friends, is how you put on a match. Shit was amazing. I mean, I almost shed a tear every once in a while just watching that match and how great it is. It's fucking spectacular. And if you've never watched it, which I doubt any hardcore wrestling fan has ever watched this shit. But if you scroll across this and you watched all 54 minutes of this video and you've never watched the Taker Shawn Michaels match at WrestleMania 25, please do that right now. And if you don't think this is the greatest Taker Mania match of all time, again, I'm going to double down on the point. You are smoking crack. But the official has made the official count out. It's done. That's a wrap. We went from 10 all the way to 1. Please like, comment, subscribe, follow the Instagram handles you see scrolling on the marquee. If I missed any matches, if I ranked something a little bit too high or too low, comment that shit, man. That's what we all about. We all about debate. Like I said, it's all subjective. I'm playing but not playing when I say you're smoking crack if Undertaker Shawn isn't the greatest Undertaker WrestleMania match of all time. And the official has made that clear. But that wraps up another episode of the Countout. Stay tuned every week as I will be dropping these more so talking about the recaps of the week of wrestling. But I'll drop in every once in a while for some of these special edition top 10s. But other than that, like I said, follow the All Real Crew. Follow Take It to the Ring on Instagram. Like, comment, subscribe. Other than that, man, this is the Countout.